Her small bony hands were hard with work, and when she trod to and fro about the crowded room, from the bedside to the fireplace, or from the crazy window to the creaking door, which let the cold draughts blow in upon the ailing mother, her step was slow and silent, less like that of a child than of a woman who was already weary with much labor. The room itself was not large enough to cause a great deal of work, but little Meg had had many nights of watch lately, and her eyes were heavy for want of sleep, with the dark circles underneath them growing darker every day. The evening had drawn in, but Meg's mother, her head propped up with anything that could be made into a pillow, had watched the last glow of the light behind the chimneys and the church spires, and then she turned herself feebly towards the glimmer of a handful of coals burning in the grate, beside which her little daughter was undressing a baby 12 months old, and hushing it to sleep in her arms. Another child had been put to bed already, upon a rude mattress in the corner of the room, where she could not see him, but she watched Meg intently, with a strange light in her dim eyes. When the baby was asleep at last, and laid down on the mattress upon the floor, the girl went softly back to the fire, and stood for a minute or two looking thoughtfully at the red embers. "Little Meg," said her mother, in a low yet shrill voice. Meg stole across with a quiet step to the bedside, and fastened her eyes earnestly upon her mother's face. "Do you know I am going to die soon?" asked the mother. "Yes," said Meg, and said no more. "Father will be home soon," continued her mother, "and I want you to take care of the children till he comes. I've settled with Mr Grigg downstairs as nobody shall meddle with you till father comes back. But Meg, you've got to take care of that your own self. You've nothing to do with nobody, and let nobody have nothing to do with you. They're a bad crew downstairs, a very bad crew. Don't you ever let any one of 'em come across the doorstep, Meg. Could you keep a secret?" "Yes, I could," said Meg. "I think you could," answered her mother, "and I'll tell you why you mustn't have nothing to do with the crew downstairs. Meg, pull the big box from under the bed." The box lay far back, where it was well hidden by the bed, but by dint of hard pulling Meg dragged it out, and the sailor's wife gave her the key from under her pillow. When the lid was opened, the eyes of the dying woman rested with interest and longing upon the faded finery it contained, the bright coloured shawl and showy dress and velvet bonnet which she used to put on when she went to meet her husband on his return from sea. Meg lifted them out carefully, one by one, and laid them on the bed, smoothing out the creases fondly. There were her own best clothes too, and the children's, the baby's nankeen coat and Robin's blue cap, which never saw the light except when father was at home. She had nearly emptied the box when she came upon a small but heavy packet. "That's the secret, Meg," said her mother in a cautious whisper. "That's 40 gold sovereigns, as doesn't belong to me nor father neither, but to one of his mates as left it with him for safety. I couldn't die easy if I thought it wouldn't be safe. They'd go rooting about everywhere. But Meg, you must never, never let anybody come into this room till father's at home." "I never will, mother," said Meg. "That's partly why I moved up here," she continued. "Why, they'd murder you all if they couldn't get the money without. Always keep the door locked, whether you're in or out. And Meg dear, I've made you a little bag to wear round your neck, to keep the key of the box in, and all the money I've got left. It'll be enough till father comes. And if anybody meddles and asks you when he's coming, be sure to say you expect him home to day or to morrow. He'll be here in 4 weeks, on Robin's birthday maybe. Do you know all you've got to do, little Meg?" "Yes," she answered. "I'm to take care of the children and the money as belongs to one of father's mates, and I must wear the little bag round my neck, and always keep the door locked, and tell folks I expect father home to day or to morrow, and never let anybody come into our room." "That's right," murmured the dying woman. "Meg, I've settled all about my burial with the undertaker and Mr Grigg downstairs, and you'll have nothing to do but stay here till they take me away. If you like, you and Robin and baby may walk after me, but be sure see everybody out, and lock the doors safe afore you start." She lay silent for some minutes, touching one after another of the clothes spread upon the bed, as Meg replaced them in the box, and then locking it up, put the key into the bag and hung it round her neck.